Hey, bless up massive. It's DJ Bubbles here. I have a very special guest with me all the way from Louisiana. I'm actually interviewing right now Shawn McElveen, one of the producers from Waters Rising, the movie based on Hurricane Katrina and the projects in Desire. Sean, welcome to my interview. And could you tell the people all about yourself, your producing, and in particularly about Waters Rising?
Hey, yeah, I'm Shawn McElveen. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Uh, Water Rising is a story that is very dear to my heart. It was inspired by some true events. Um, there was a real killer, Hebron Williams, and actually the actor that played Killer in the movie, his name was Andre Deuce Noel, and both of those guys were killed violently in Louisiana. And the first killing of Killer, it inspired me to do Water Rising. He had an idea of the story, and actually he actually got killed similar to what he wrote. So it was kind of like life imitating art.
Right, for sure. So we know at the time that this movie came out, it was kind of the story wrapped around Hurricane Katrina. And I'm just wondering if you can give the audience a in-depth description of what life was like for Killer. Sadly, he didn't get a chance to reshape his lifestyle, but in the movie, he had a brother named Gangster. Can you kind of bridge that gap for us and tell us how at least one out of the two brothers changed their life and their way of living?
Well, in actuality, the movie actually, Killer actually wrote a treatment that kind of inspired the movie about 5 months before Hurricane Katrina. It happened like, I think he wrote it maybe like in April. We wrote it together in like April, and then in no, I'm sorry, it may have been March,
Okay.
and then early March, and then he got killed the latter part of March, and then I was still trying to get the movie made when
Yes.
Katrina happened, and Katrina just turned me inside out. I actually moved to Houston. I mean, everybody had to leave the city, and we left to go to Houston.
Yes.
And within like about 2 months after Katrina, it happened in August, maybe like in end of September, early October. It was like I still wanted to do the movie even more. So I retook the script that I had, and I hired a writer to rewrite the script, and it was more of I wanted to add Katrina into it, the Hurricane Katrina, because Katrina is like a big marketing tool. So we just drew Katrina in it to maybe bring some folks to the theater or to the movie that maybe wouldn't have normally watched it, because it's really like Boys in the Hood meets Hurricane Katrina in all
Yes.
essence.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the main character in the movie obviously was Killer. And I'm just wondering, in the movie, it depicts his life, growing up in the projects in the
Mm-hmm.
United States and what have you. Would you say at that point for him to write the story, would you say at that point he was in the process of changing his life, the way he lived, and the choices he made?
Yeah. I would definitely say Killer was in the mix. He was actually an outstanding rapper, and the whole goal was to do the movie and do his music and kind of package them together. And the
Right.
ironic part about it, the guy who played Killer, he was a phenomenal rapper too. His
Yes.
name is Deuce. His rap name was Deuce. Killing went by Namalik, and if you spell Namalik backwards, it's Killer Man. And both of them were phenomenal rappers. Also, we had like maybe out of the whole cast, we had about maybe 10 real nice producers or rappers that was involved in the whole project.
Right.
One notable is the guy that played Yikes, is the
Yes.
guy Young Greatness. He has the one of the top 5 songs in the country right now called Moolah. So
Right.
it was very hip hop driven. It was very musical driven. All those guys was rappers or producers, so that's why they came across so authentic because they really were artists.
Of
By
course.
any stretch of the imagination, they really were artists first more than anything else.
Of course. Now, I'm just curious to know the Desire Projects. Was there really a project named The Desire?
Yeah, the Desire Project is probably one of the biggest and the most notorious projects of them all. I
Yes.
think it was more than 10,000 units, if I'm not mistaken, in the
Right.
project. And my father actually was raised in the project. My grandfather and my father, he was from the actual Desire Project. My
Okay.
grandfather was first generation, and I guess my dad would be considered like the second generation of the project.
Of
So it
course.
kind of hit home. The thing about the Desire Project, it was a lot of love, what I'm saying, in the project. One thing a lot of folks don't know about New Orleans, even though we always in the top 5 or 10 with the murder per capita, um, just as many people that's killing, there's just as much love in New Orleans as
Yes.
well. If you go, like, it's so beautiful, the food was great, and the people are so friendly. You know what I'm saying? So you could go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. The
Of
thing
course.
about the bad end of the spectrum is that, for the most part, the bad guys kind of cancel each other out.
Of
You know what I'm saying? So,
course.
yeah, it's kind of spills over to the good guys sometimes. But 9 times out of 10, if you have a situation, you see a killing, you see a murder, even though it may not be worth a life, something
Yes.
transpired. You know what I'm saying? So uh, that's it's the streets. So things that may not seem like a big deal for a killing in normal life.
Right.
When you're in the streets, it's magnified. It's magnified times 10, times 100.
Of
They're
course.
real big on respect. So it's gonna be a different. It's gonna be different as opposed to normal citizens.
Of course. Now, in my initial contact with you, Sean, I told you that I'm currently working on a project called Second Chances,
Mm-hmm.
which part of that program is to, use testimonies such as killer and gangster and pretty much most of the individuals that were depicted in this movie, seeing
Mm-hmm.
as the way how you see our younger generation are so focused on violence and basically giving their talent and energy to the streets and committing crime. I'm just wondering, what encouragement would you provide being exposed to violence and crime and what have you, and knowing personally the real life killer that was portrayed in the movie Waters Rising? What encouragement would you provide to the young people out there?
Well, the encouragement I would provide would be that the streets is a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? It's all one way. It's all leading to one place. You know, it's nothing good that's gonna come out the streets. It's either death or prison time. Most of the time, I mean, even prison time is like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? If you get life sentence, you get 20 years. If you get 20 years and you're already 40 years old, that's like life.
Yes.
60 years old, your whole life is kind of, in the rearview mirror. So I would suggest that they take that energy that they have and just do something positive, make a difference, make a change, Um, it's a lot of times, folks, they're a part of their environment, but you could grow up in the hood and not be a part of the hood. You know what I'm saying? You could strive for something bigger, something brighter, because when it's all said and done and you look back, you're gonna regret a lot of things that you did as a youth. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's maturity, you thought you had to do X, Y, Z to take care of your family, but there's always something else. There's always the alternative that you can do instead of the streets.
For real. And I'm just wondering, through your interaction with the real live individuals from the Desire projects that you based your movie Waters Rising on, would you say that there are any amongst that gang or crew that took their second chance and put it to good use?
hmm Well, like I told you before, is a lot of the music is musically inclined,
Mm-hmm.
and I see like Young Greatness, for example. Out of all the rappers right now, he's the hottest. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, he may have been the last on the totem pole, not from a talent standpoint. I'm just speaking from a notoriety standpoint, because at that time he had just started rapping, and the other guy had a few years on him. The guy that played Killer Deuce in the movie, he the one
Yes.
introduced him to the music, and every time he does a show, he paid homage to him. He said, his best friend got killed. He the one who encouraged him to rap. He wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And he's a guy that he did a few years in jail time, and when he came home, he was solely focused on the music. That's it. No
Right.
more criminal activities. No, none of that. It was strictly music. And if I called him right now, I guarantee you he's going to be in the studio making a song or something pertaining to music. Maybe shooting a video or getting ready to do a show. You know what I'm saying?
Of
And that's
course.
very encouraging to anybody that's striving for their dream. You know what I'm saying? That
Of course.
the underdog story never gets old.
Of course. You
Uh-huh.
have a great point there. So, sorry, Sean. Basically, in summary, where you from does not define your future. Is that safe to say? That's part
That's
of.
that's an excellent point. I mean, I know a whole bunch of folks that's from the Desire Project that I'm from the 8th Ward, which is like across the tracks from the Desire. What happened was maybe in the 90s a lot of folks started migrating from the Desire into to the houses nearby, and my neighborhood was one of the places that a lot of folks moved to. So I previously had a lot of friends from the Desire, but I have a lot of real close friends that moved into the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those guys actually is a Hall of Fame running back. He's from the Desire Project, and he took his talent and he made something of it.
Of
You know what I'm saying?
course.
So it's like you can be whatever you want to be, wherever you're from. You can still be something great, no matter what situation you were born into. If you put your mind to it and put the work into it, you can make it happen.
Oh, I love that. So then, based on the fact that you're saying you were from the 8th Ward, then you yourself came from environment of violence and what have you, and you've pushed your talent to become a great producer. Then is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, and the ironic part about the A Ward, it was like early on, it was probably one of the better places to live,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of watched the 8th Ward turn into the hood. You know what I'm saying? Just because of different circumstances, it violence of your neighborhood and the drugs and the 80s, the crack came and it just turned the whole city out. The drugs turned the whole city out. So, but we do have, every part of New Orleans, every fabric of it. There's some bad and there's some great people as well. So
Of course.
I would definitely say that you can, if you put your mind to it, you can do it.
And what prevented you from becoming a statistic of being a product of that environment?
I would think my foundation with God. My mom was very instrumental in teaching me. But like even with that being said, not that the other guy. It's just a matter of choice. Everything is
Amen.
a matter of choice. At the end of the day, I was still subject to it. I was in the environment, and I had a
Yes.
choice to make. I could go through drugs, mess with the drugs,
Mm-hmm.
with the scam. And another important person in high school is around the time when you're on a sense you could go left or you could go right. I
Yes.
had a teacher photography teacher that introduced me to the camera, and he
Right.
told me something that was so profound. And this was 30 years ago. He told me that when I shot the pictures, he loved the pictures that I shot. The first time I ever shot anything for him, and he told me, he pulled me in front of the class and said, "This camera will pay. It's gonna feed you for the rest of your life." His name is Lloyd
Wow.
Dennis, and I'm forever grateful for him putting that camera in my hand. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, that was 30 years ago. It kind of gives me goosebumps just to think about, somebody telling you that, and it comes into fruition.
Yes.
It actually happened. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's crazy.
It's just it's just prophecy in my
Yeah.
opinion, for real. I
Mm-hmm.
really, your movie, the movie Waters Rising, it's truly an inspiration. Although some of the conclusions were tragic, how did, in your own opinion, did you achieve what you wanted to achieve by producing and putting your movie out there? What exactly did you want to achieve? Was it to get provide inspiration or just in memory of Killer?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to provide inspiration. I just want to show folks another route. The ironic part is I've been working on with a writer for the sequel, and the movie means so much different things to so many people. Some people are inspired by it. Some people
Yes.
tell me they cried about it. But this particular writer, she said she didn't grasp that from it. She just got, it was a hood movie, and she didn't get the good messages that were inside of it. It was it was a love story, but it was also a story of forgiveness. One of the big
Yes.
things with New Orleans is that, um, someone gets killed and then someone they want revenge. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And then, rightfully so, if you kill one of my relatives, I'm gonna be hurt and I'm gonna want to do something about it. And I can
Definitely.
understand that. In order for it to stop, someone has to inject love into that situation and say,
Yes.
you know what, I'm gonna give them a pass, and maybe it matriculates down to the whole city. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody is thinking about revenge all the time, it's never gonna stop. It will
Yes.
never stop. I have faith that it can stop. I think New Orleans is the greatest city on the planet. We just have a
Yes.
crime problem, and once we solve the crime problem, I think we'll solve the economic problem. And then once we
Definitely.
solve the economic problem, I don't think you can compare any other city in the world to New Orleans. It's because there's so much love so much
Definitely.
affection, so much culture. We're very rich in culture, so and I think for the most part, a lot of folks feel the same way about their city. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little biased, but I'm well traveled, and no other place can compare to New Orleans.
That's
You know what I'm
home
saying?
for
From the
you.
food to the music to just the hospitality
Of
is
course.
one driven off of serving. You know what I'm saying? We were very hospitable in New Orleans, and that's one of the things that you don't hear a lot of. You don't hear enough of.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? When you hear about the city.
Of course. Well, definitely, I strictly believe that there's always two sides to a coin, and no matter what soil you stand on, you're gonna know that there's a good side and a bad side. So I
Hmm.
definitely um affirmative with you on that regard. Now, Sean, we before we started the interview, we've agreed that we're not gonna reveal any um, storyline, but uh, when can we expect the sequel to Waters Rising?
I would say summer of 2017. I
Okay.
think you're gonna be looking for it. It's we're in pre-production right now.
Hmm.
We're getting the first thing about any story, any movie is the story has to be great. It can't just be good. If you get a
Exactly.
story that goes to the theater that's not great, it shouldn't be made unless it's great. You know what I'm saying? And we set out to make a classic movie. I lost a couple of good friends in the mix that really hurt, but it also has inspired me as well to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't go enough on the when you say what did I want to get out of it. I definitely wanted to launch Dirt, Deuce, and Wide Young Greatness music career, as
Of
well as we
course.
had Troublesome and we had Marcus um, and Six and all these great producers and Michael Jackson, the producer as well, and also we had Mookie Jones and Young A, and it's just a whole list of folks that it's almost like Empire. This movie
Yes.
is like Empire without the music. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to do. I want to launch some careers. You know
Of
what I'm saying?
course.
And we made a classic movie. I'm not saying that because it was mine. I'm telling you, like I produced 10 movies, and the love I get from Water Rising is incredible. It's like like every city, like they can't believe I did it, or it's like someone called me on the phone and said, "This the producer. I'm telling you, this the guy who did it. Go look his name on it." You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because so many people tell me I watch it every day. You know what I'm saying? That
Yes.
movie that I watch every day, like Paid in Full. That's one of my favorites, and I didn't see Paid in Full at the theater, but when I saw the DVD, we quote Paid in Full on a daily basis. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? Like 10 days. There's certain lines in that movie, and folks quote lines out of Water Rising. So
Oh,
I think we
yes.
accomplished the part about a classic movie.
Of
Did I get what I
course.
wanted to get as far as lucrative? No, you know what I'm saying. We missed the mark on that. But
Yes.
what I didn't get in part one, I'm definitely gonna get in part two, and I do want to take care of everybody that was a part of part one as
Of
well.
course.
You know what I'm saying? I really want to help out the real killer. He has a son. The real Deuce who played killer, he has daughters. They're no longer with us. I would like to set up a fund or something just for those. You know what I'm saying? Just for the kids.
Of
You know what I'm saying? Like
course.
a trust fund. I want to have enough money to just give back to the people that gave so much of their time and so much of their talent
Definitely.
to the project.
Wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
so amazing. Now I'm just wondering, I know that it's a back in 2007 when the movie came out that
Uh,
um, it was a hit. I'm just wondering for those, could you tell my audience, for those who may not know about the movie or they may have not seen it, where could they get a copy mainly?
they can get a copy of it at Amazon.com.
Okay,
And then also they watch it for free on YouTube. I would definitely want, or they could go to mavericentertainment.cc
okay,
and purchase it as well. I
okay,
think I think Maverick would be the best outlet first of all to get it, and then Amazon or YouTube. You know, you want to watch it. You know, sometimes you watch a movie and then you like it's so good that you want to have it in your library, your video library. I
of
think it's that
course,
movie. It's like Scarface. It's like everybody should have Scarface. You should have Paid in Full. You know what I'm saying? You should have those movies. Heat. You know, it's right up there. Even though it was a low budget film, it's a great story, and the actors that's definitely delivered what I needed them to deliver. So I'm very proud
exactly.
of it.
Definitely low budget or not, I mean, the message is strong, which was what prompted me to make a connection with you just to, the main objective is to change a life out there,
Mm,
especially amongst our youth. It's just to like summarize what you said. The choice you make today could haunt you tomorrow. But
mm,
despite your mistakes, with life, there's always a second chance, which is
absolutely.
one of the main objectives that I wanted to touch base with. So definitely, I'm really happy that I made this connection with you. And I know that we're going to keep our communication ongoing. So when part two hits, I would be more than happy to be a part of that introduction to the world of the sequel to Waters Rising. Definitely. Just wondering if there's anything at all you'd like to say to our young people out there, in particular, and just to everybody. What would you like to say to the people out there before we go?
I would like to say to never give up on themselves. Also invest in themselves. You know, we get caught up in other people's dreams and other people's business, but we need to take heed and invest time and energy every day into whatever our dream is, whatever our dream job is. We should invest in that every day to perfect it, to research it. Whatever you need to do to bring your dream to the next level, you have to do it. You know, I wouldn't get
Yes.
caught up on anything else but living a life that you want to live. You know, that they want to live. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main objective. This invest in your time and yourself. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And just do what you want to do, and also, you know, as far as the criminalization, we see a lot of stuff going on in society right now. And I just watched Birth of a Nation yesterday, and it was a great movie, and I do suggest that you know, you know, that your viewers go check it out if they haven't already. Check it out and bring a friend because it's
Yes.
a great message that it's a part of our history. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? He's really like a superhero, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? He
Definitely.
frees some people. He opens a couple of folks' minds up to try to get free. You know,
Nat Turner.
other than Harriet Tubman, uh, I think he's probably And I had the crazy part about Nat Turner. I mean, I never heard about Nat Turner in school. I've only heard about Nat Turner the last few years. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that. You
Oh
know what I'm saying?
no,
Because he
it's
was such a
just
great warrior. And he has
Exactly.
so much heart, and it's really about love. You know what I'm saying? They got so much, there's so much hate in this world right now that folks need to just embrace love a little bit more. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? And just try love. You know, try love is the only thing that can stop the hatred.
Of
You
course.
know,
It's the
you know what I'm
only.
saying? So I know I'm a little off key, but
You're right. You're
I'm a little
right.
bit everywhere. But I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me. You know, and I definitely believe in second chances. You know, you know, you always it's never too late to pursue your dreams. You know, you could
Exactly.
be 40, you could be 60. You know what I'm saying? You could be 7. I mean, I think the Colonel was in his 60s when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken. So, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So you never too old to pursue your dream. If you're 65 years old and you always wanted to be a nurse, go be a nurse. You know, it take you
Exactly.
3-4 years to do it, but do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you're 60 years old, it's never too late to do what you want to do. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Live the life you want to live right now.
Amen.
Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait for a month from now. You know, it's never going to be the right time to get started. Start it right now in the midst of everything else that's going on. Just do it.
Exactly. You're so right, Sean. I couldn't have said it better myself. You know, and it is I who need to thank you for taking time out of your movie productions to talk with me and share more hindsight on Waters Rising and just in general, you know, sharing motivation and inspiration and encouragement and most of all, your belief in God and what He's done to keep you from becoming another statistic. It's an amazing testimony today. And
Mm-hmm.
for sure, we have to keep in touch, most definitely. We got to keep in touch. And massive, once again, this is Sean
Like
sorry,
Elvin.
McElveen, the producer of Waters Rising,
Mm-hmm.
straight out of Louisiana. You don't know. And just before we go, I just want to say much love to you, Sean.
I appreciate you having me.
It's
And I'm
okay.
looking for big things from you as well. So
Oh,
I'm just,
yeah,
you know, I love you.
definitely.
I love the way you operate. I love the way you're persistent. You know, I
Yes.
missed my first phone call. You didn't
Oh,
give up on me, so
no. I was
it's
just,
great.
yeah, it's for a purpose, you know, so you may get you may not get through on the first strike, but just like what we've both, iterated in our interview, you can't give up and you gotta live for today. You're so right, hon. Thank you too. Massive. It's DJ Bubbles. Bubbles alongside Shawn McElveen. And we just
Mhm.
want to say bless up, much love out there. You done know. Sean,
Okay.
peace.
All right. Thank you.